So the first challenge that we hear from customers is the desire to focus their limited resources on business priorities. And it's no surprise because it's a great challenge today for organizations to attract and retain top technical talent. So this challenge is really about a company's desire to maximize the benefit they get out of the resources they have. So rather than have their resources focus on things like learning how to deploy or migrate and manage a set of tools, they'd rather have those resources focus on things that differentiate them from the competition, things that delight their customers and drive their bottom line. So if they're a bank, this could mean deploying the next great new banking product or maybe improving the customer experience. If they're a software gaming company, that might mean getting a new release to market faster or figuring out a way to monetize a particular feature within a game. They don't want their valuable resources focused on things that don't differentiate them from the competition, which would be things like upgrading to the latest version of a particular tool or ensuring that the patching is up to date or monitoring performance and availability to ensure that teams aren't impacted. The second challenge that we hear from customers is around software currency. That's the ability to keep tools at the current version, and it's a major challenge for many organizations. It creates problems in many areas. Developer community is not happy because they want their bug fixes. They want their new features. A lot of organizations, we find, let things fall so far behind that the version they're running isn't even supported by the software vendor. And of course, the further you fall behind, the more difficult it is to catch up. So instead of a series of small, regular, non-impacting upgrades, they've stacked them up and they have these massive upgrades projects that they have to deal with. And it's always at the cost of other priorities. So the last thing I'll say about software currency is the further you fall behind, the more exposed you are from a security standpoint. And that ties in nicely to the next challenge, which is challenge number 3 that we hear: operating securely in the cloud. So the companies we talk to know that they need to get to the cloud because they want the availability and the scalability that they can get there. But what they lack internally is the experience and the expertise, not only to initially deploy and migrate to the cloud, but also to manage and run on an ongoing basis. And perhaps the most important concern that companies have is security, and rightfully so. You only need to look at the recent headlines, a lot of them, to understand the risks that companies face today if they don't properly prioritize security. So it's no surprise that Gartner's recent CIO staffing survey found that 74% of CIOs plan to increase security operations staffing over the next year. And that was actually the #1 category out of 20 that they were surveyed on. Another challenge we come across is functional expertise gaps. So with tools and employees changing all the time, many companies we talk to just don't have the depth of experience in particular tools that they rely on. And the last challenge that we'll touch on today is challenge number 5, the ability to execute quickly. A lot of companies are behind schedule. They're being pushed to do more with less. And they also have a lot of internal process that they're tied up with, involved with onboarding new vendors. So these are the 5 challenges that we've heard from customers.